Welcome back. It is Saturday, August 30th in the MLB, and my three favorite picks are on the way. What's going on, everyone? It's Logan from Calling Our Shot here on a weekend to hopefully just get rid of whatever happened on the diamond last night. I don't have a recap slide for yesterday, but obviously you guys know how this season's continued, and once again it continued like that last night. Just agonizing ways to lose. You're telling me we have the Mariners team total over 4. They score over 4.5. They score 4 in the first inning. In the rest of the 8 innings of the ball game, they can't give me one more run. That's exactly how this season's been going. The Reds losing extra innings. Ellie De La Cruz can't field an infield ground ball. I'm like beyond drained. The donations on the diamond continue, but I have 3 picks today, and listen to how we're going to turn around this weekend. One total. Austin's favorite pick. Again, he's not on camera. But he's still, got in the lab. He gave me his favorite pick. So, we each have one. And then we have a NRFI because yesterday's NRFI was a donation of the day. I mean, holy, Dean Kramer hosted BP. Didn't even matter because it lost in the top of the first inning as well. But that's just the season. So we're going to try to turn it around this weekend. And on a more positive note, college football. You guys see my Gator shirt on. College football, that video is live for Saturday. If you watched our Thursday and Friday video, you got some winners in there because I went 2-0 in that video. Austin, I believe, split his picks. But I had another, great win with Georgia Tech on the spread last night. So again, if you're not checking out those college videos, you need to. And since I feel bad, obviously, from selling you guys some losers yesterday, I want to do a little giveaway. So what you need to do, again, if you're watching this video, I appreciate you because it's just been the season from hell. Like, why are you still clicking on this video? I appreciate you so much. Go to the college football video. Do me a favor and comment something positive on that Saturday video. The video is already live. It was posted yesterday at noon. Go back, watch the Saturday video. Austin and I run down a lot of the big games. We do give our best bets for college football. And again, college football is a sport that I have had a lot more success in, a lot more luck. If you're just looking at baseball, Logan, you're like, this guy sucks. But I promise you, I do put in my research and I do try to deliver winners. And I've been delivering winners in college football. So at the very minimum, please go do that. Please leave a comment and I will pick one person that comments on that video. So again, it's a way to selectively, kind of weed out the toxicity on baseball. Let's just go over and be positive to college football, and let's hopefully have a great college football Saturday because that is on today. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the picks. Let's bounce back. I mean, come on. This is so agonizing to be giving you guys losers. I love this community, and Austin loves it as well. We're better than this. Like simply put. So it starts today. Let's bounce back a little bit. And our first pick of the day is going to be a total. You might not like it, but this one's going to cash. It's going to be the Marlins and Mets under 8, -119 on DraftKings. Now, we see another really low total after the past 2 games of the series have, soared over. Like you look at last night, 28 runs, 11 runs the prior game. It's just like, why is this total set to, 7.5, 8 on some books? I just think we're going to see finally the low scoring game we're promised. I'm seeing like a 4-1, 4-2 ball game, where we just don't get a whole lot of runs later in these games. And I think both these 2 starting pitchers are in a prime spot, for some decent length and quality starts. Let's talk about David Peterson. Starts for the Mets, 3.18 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. Now, David Peterson, not a flashy guy, not a Paul Skeens type pitcher, but what he is good at, is just really limiting these offenses, kind of like lulling them to sleep. He faced the Marlins back in March, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned run, 9 strikeouts. Like where the heck does 9 strikeouts come from? For a guy like David Peterson, it's impressive that the Marlins weren't picking him up well. Hopefully that continues today. Over the last 2 weeks, the Marlins have been terrible versus lefties. 26 in batting average versus lefties during that span, hitting only 202. So I'm pretty optimistic that Peterson comes in here, has a pretty solid start. And over that same span, Miami also 27th in WRC plus against left-handed pitching. Peterson's game, again, it's not normally the strikeouts. The fact that he got 9 Ks against the Marlins, that was straight up impressive. That's not his game. Typically, he's a ground ball guy. 95th percentile in ground ball percentage, 78th percentile in barrel percentage. That's typically how he gets his outs. And hopefully the Marlins just, roll over, soft contact ground ball outs. That's what we're looking for. And then on the other side, it's going to be Edward Cabrera, starting for the Marlins, 3.32 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. Cabrera is elite at strikeouts. His game's a little bit different, than Peterson. He's 78th percentile in chase and whiff percentage, 75th percentile in K percentage. So he's definitely near the top, of the league in terms of a guy that is able to generate the swing and miss. That's big against a Mets offense that's just been crushing right-handed pitching. I mean, Mets are hitting 327 against righties over the last 2 weeks. I really have to have a guy like Edward Cabrera that comes in here, an elite strikeout guy, and say, this is going to be the guy to kind of stymie this Mets offense. I think he does that today. Look, if he's coming in this game in good form too. 3.23 ERA in August. That's what I want to see from Edward Cabrera. And then we go to bullpens, because the bullpens are what could potentially sell this pick. Again, it's an under, so the total's obviously baked in with the bullpens. Again, it's weird to see it at 7.5 and 8 on some books. In August, the Marlins are 30th in bullpen ERA. The Mets are 22nd in bullpen ERA. Kind of crazy numbers there. But I think both these two starting pitchers can give them length. I mean, we've seen him go deep into games. Cabrera can give the Marlins length. He's six plus innings pitched in 3 of his last 5 starts. And there's some games where Cabrera's just absolutely cooking, and he goes, even beyond the 6th inning. That's what I want to see from these two starting pitchers. I want to see them each give them length. I think that's kind of what the odds makers are seeing with this total, because if you limit the bullpens, then this total does have a very good chance of going under. And I think that's what we get today with this under. Look, it's not an under that's sexy. It's not an under that a lot of people are picking. I've already looked at the splits. Majority of the bets are on the over. But again, I don't mind being slightly contrarian here. And I like taking the under in the Marlins and Mets little divisional game. Now let's go to the second pick. That was my pick. This is Austin's pick, even though I'm just here, repeating it. It's going to be the Padres on the first 5 innings run line -0.5. -120 odds on DraftKings. So obviously, Austin's, on a cruise. He's enjoying life. He's giving me this hell job of a sport right now. But this should be a winner. He's feeding us a winner from overseas. The Padres were handled in the first 5 yesterday. Nestor came back down to earth. Just, a terrible spot for the Padres, really. But look at the matchup we have today. We have the advantage of fading Taj Bradley, and I love fading Taj Bradley. 4.95 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. His most recent start back from the minors, terrible. 5 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, only 1 strikeout. I mean, if Taj Bradley can't generate the strikeouts, what is this guy really good for? In 2 games post All-Star break, too, 7.82 ERA. Just really trended in the wrong direction. A fade all around. With runners in scoring position, Taj Bradley allowing a 280 batting average. Just not good at all. The Padres are an offense that can capitalize on those mistakes. 9th in batting average, 10th in WRC plus versus right-handed pitchers over the last 2 weeks. So top 10 offense really versus righties, and they need to be that today against Taj Bradley. Do not make a bad pitcher look good. That is one of the more frustrating things in this sport, is when you have a guy that's just really struggling, really not pitching well at all this year. And then the team just goes up and takes him for granted and just, home run hacks every time. And you're just like, come on, man, just put the ball in play. Put the ball in play against Taj Bradley. Good things will happen. And then starting for the Padres today, Nick Pivetta, 2.82 ERA, 0.94 WHIP for Nick Pivetta. Really solid season for Pivetta. I mean, the Twins, he's facing a Twins offense that's 18th in batting average versus right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. They've been much better versus lefties, and we saw that yesterday with Nestor Cortez. They really, made Nestor pay for a lot of those mistake pitches. Pivetta doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's why he's keeping that ERA sub 3, is because he's just coming out and pitching really solid outings. To have a sub 1 WHIP as well just really shows that he's really dialed in. He's very elite, and with runners in scoring position, Pivetta lights out. 185 batting average allowed with runners in scoring position, 186 batting average with men on. He's been great, pitching out of the stretch too, and that's what we need in the first 5 innings. Go out there, Nick Pivetta. Hopefully he gets some run support, and I think this Padres first 5 run line cashes. They need to be leading by 1 or more through 5, and hopefully that they do that. Again, we leave the bullpens out of it with the first 5. Just 5 innings. The bet's either going to win or it's going to lose. Hopefully they get to Taj Bradley in the 5th inning and not nothing worse than seeing it in the 6th inning, but they're going to get to him early. And we love that as Austin's favorite pick. Also, coincidentally, our second pick of the day. Now, yesterday left an absolutely terrible taste in my mouth. NRFI Nation returned, and it returned to a just a very quick L. Ryan Mountcastle, our boy, spoiled it in the top of the first, but didn't matter because Dean Kramer actually hosted batting practice. There were 200 runs in that game. A NRFI's never going to cash when it would just simply wasn't the time for that. Am I going to let that get me down? Am I going to let that demoralize me? No. NRFI Nation, we deserve a winner. It's only a half unit play. So again, it is what it is. One swing of the bat, and this could be a loser. But it's going to be in the Braves and Phillies game. We're taking the no-run first inning. We got the NRFI Nation flag yesterday. I wasn't as enthusiastic waving it. Maybe that's why it didn't hit. But the Braves and Phillies no-run first inning is the pick today, -130 odds on DraftKings. Obviously, you got a low total in this game. You got like a 7.5, so you're going to have to pay juice on the NRFI. It's not like we're taking a Coors NRFI that's plus value. But look at these two pitchers today. These are two guys I want to back. We're getting revenge on the NRFI that lost yesterday. Christopher Sanchez starts for the Phillies. NRFI'd in 8 straight home starts. This guy has just been lights out at Citizens Bank Park. He faced the Braves at home, in May. NRFI'd in that game. That's exactly what we want today. He's a very elite pitcher. He's very good first time through the order too. He just doesn't really make a whole lot of mistakes. This Braves offense, again, what am I getting from them? Never really know night to night. But I think Sanchez should be able to get those first 3 outs. Braves are 16th in first inning runs per game, about middle of the pack. So Sanchez doesn't necessarily have the hardest matchup. Again, if you can just get through that top of the order, I love that for the first 3 outs. Where this NRFI comes down to, in my opinion, is going to be Chris Sale starting for the Braves, making his first start since June. And that's why, there's a little bit of risk with this NRFI, but it's a risk I'm willing to take because I know what Chris Sale is. He faced the Phillies back in May and NRFI'd. And even pitching injured, Sale NRFI'd in his last 10 starts going back all the way to April. This guy was pitching injured, and obviously that's why he had to go his rehab assignment. This is his first game back. But again, he's obviously looked good enough for the Braves to bring him back up. And he was great. Even, he was great in the first inning, even pitching injured. So it's like I'm pretty confident he can actually navigate through this Phillies lineup. If you really look at some of the guys he'll face in that lineup, obviously, Schwarber and Harper have okay splits versus him. Turner sees him terribly. Turner's like hitting sub 200 against him. So if you can get the leadoff man out, maybe be careful pitching around Schwarber. A Schwarbomb in this NRFI would be terrible. That would just ruin my soul. But he should still be able to pitch around those guys. Maybe pitch around Harper. Real Muto doesn't see him well. So there's some outs to be had in that top of the Phillies order. Even though they are powerful, even though they're 7th in first inning runs per game, there's still outs there. And Chris Sale is a very hard pitcher to see first time through. It actually takes hitters several times through because his pitch arsenal is so elite. And he's monstrous on the mound. He's the extension is crazy. This Phillies team hasn't seen him in a hot minute either. It's not like they just saw him a week or two ago. So I love this as the favorite NRFI of the day. NRFI Nation, we need to bounce back in a big way. We're not going to let one NRFI, a terrible NRFI yesterday, ruin our momentum. We're going to bounce back in a big way. Again, only playing a half unit on it. Let's just see if we can jumpstart a little winner there. Just in the first inning, get in, get out with a winner. So let's recap the picks real quick. It's just a 3-pick card on this Saturday slate. I like the Marlins and Mets, full game under 8. The Padres first 5 innings run line -0.5. Hopefully they lead by 1 or more through 5. And then we have the NRFI that I just talked about, as our third pick in the Phillies and Braves game. Thank you guys so much once again for watching this video. I know baseball has just been so bad. If you leave toxic comments in there, half deserved, but also you're not helping an already bad situation. Just know that if you are leaving all the toxicity of like, oh, these guys are terrible, they don't know what they're doing. I agree. It doesn't look like we know what we're doing this season. I promise you the method still works. It's just every ounce of bad luck that can possibly happen in one season is happening all at the same time. So it's just unfortunate. I'm still going to, keep the method the same. The process has paid season in and season out. So hopefully, we can just have a good Saturday. Let's have a good weekend. Take it one day at a time, and and hopefully it pays today. This has been Logan. Go watch the college football video. I'll link it on the screen. We had a great Thursday, Friday on the college football video. Hopefully we have a great Saturday. There's tons of college football action. Go watch that. Go enjoy it. I know that's what I'm going to be doing today. This has been Logan. I'll catch you on the next one.